Two Gacha games came out this year, those being Xenoblade Zone Zero and Wuthering. I've already spoken about Xenoblade Zone Zero in another video. If you guys want to go see what I think about it, it's my first time playing the game. I will leave the link, first link in the description below to go watch my thoughts on Xenoblade Zone Zero. This video though is going to be about Wuthering. I spoke about Wuthering on the channel before when the Shorekeeper update came out, but I think it's time now with Camilla coming out and 2.0 coming out in the next update. I think it's time for me now to properly talk about the game as a whole, because I think this game, if it keeps going on the cycle it's going, it'll probably be one of the best gacha games. Well, probably the best open world gacha game. Because, not being funny, Genshin Impact for at least 2 to 3 years has been dry as fuck. Until Fontaine came around, then the game was really good again. But so far, every single Wuthering Waves update is amazing. I've had the only update I did not personally like, and don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad update, there just wasn't much to do, was the Painter Girl update. They generally it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really care for that character. I don't really like that type of nerdy type of Painter Girl designs. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know some people are, but not my cup of tea. Every single patch they keep improving on the game. They keep listening to player feedback, and that's one thing these games need to do more. Listen to your players' feedback, because these games are built on their communities. Without these communities, these games will die. And I know that because I've played a game called Wuthering for the longest time, and that game, the only reason why it's so popular to this day, so well received, and why everybody loves it, it's because the community is so strong, and when there's something bad, everybody complains about it. Wuthering Waves, there was a lot of issues on launch. There was a lot. They fixed it in a few days, and I couldn't believe it because I dropped the game when the game first came out because I generally couldn't play the game, and that's what I wanted to play the game for. The gameplay loop, everything looked amazing. When I literally got out the first area, my game kept crashing, so I was like, fuck this, I couldn't be arsed. Then I came back to it, and I was mind blown. The story, the characters, everything, they do such a fantastic job. And for the love of Christ, they are actually making Rover a main character. And you guys are probably on about what the fuck you're talking about. They are treating Rover like an actual protagonist for once, not just some side character in the story. Because I love Holocaust story, I love it. But they do it too much. They keep sidelining Stella in these big story moments. They need to stop doing that. A main character is supposed to be forefront when big stuff happens. They're supposed to be the main center point when it comes to big things happening. In Star Rail, the only big thing that I remember happening is the stuff with Firefly, Acheron, and at the end with Sunday. Other than that, she was sidelined as fuck, Stella was. In this game, Rover is there at center, and everybody knows and recognizes there's something, and that is what I like. And don't get me wrong, she's not just an amazing. Don't get me wrong, they're not just making the Rover a main character. They're making her an enjoyable character to actually play. Because I've just finished building my Rover, Havoc Rover, and she's one of my favorite characters to play right now. She has some of the coolest animations. I love how she has the one wing into a little combo string. I love that. They're doing such a good job, and don't get me wrong, Rover is fucking hot as fuck, bro. No hesitation would. They're doing such a good job with her, and the other side characters around them, which I want to get to in a minute. It is so hard to compete with these characters now. And what I mean by that, the most convoluted, complex, and interesting character in Genshin Impact is Farina. No hesitation, Farina is the best character in that whole game when it comes to writing. And the best character in fucking Star Rail is either Firefly or Acheron. You can argue either one. And I could say this now, Camilla, Chun-Li, Shorekeeper, they're all up there. They're all way surpassed their writing when it comes to writing. And that's the thing, it feels like Hoyoverse when it comes to writing characters and actually developing a story. They're not good at it. Because don't get me wrong, I've played Honkai Impact, and Honkai Impact's story was good. And then the gameplay loop, I couldn't be asked with it, so I dropped the game. I don't know why, though, people keep shitting on Wuthering Waves. They're either just blind to their own delusion that they can't accept that a game is doing so well. A game is doing so well, and everybody loves the story, and everybody loves everything about it, and not complaining about it. Or they're just Hoyo shells that just want to shit on it because it's not a Hoyoverse game. And it's probably both. I'm gonna be honest. It's probably both. And the main reason being why I see it's both is because I know a handful of Hoyoverse players that don't like Wuthering Waves for no reason. Why? You haven't even played the game, and you dislike a game you haven't played. Don't get me wrong, if you don't like the complex gameplay, say you don't like the complex gameplay, like there is no excuse I can figure out that I can see not to dislike Wuthering Waves. The only thing I can say that's like an off-putting is, like I said earlier, the start of the game is very slow, but as soon as you get past the start of it and you meet Scar, and after that it just picks up after that. There's no downsides after that, and that's one thing I will say about Hoyoverse also doesn't do well. They don't make you attached to the characters enough. Don't get me wrong, Star Rail's a perfect example of this. Ting Yun coming back. Don't get me wrong, I didn't expect she would stay dead. The way she died was just so suddenly, I didn't expect for her to basically remain dead. But not a lot of people are happy about it, which is understandable. Because right now, Star Rail hasn't had any deaths that have impacted the story enough. And I bet you the first one's going to be Himiko. Because if you played Honkai Impact 3, you know how bad Himiko's death hits everybody on that cast. So yeah, and hits the player itself. So I bet you the first character they're going to kill off is going to be Himiko. And it will probably start the train where everyone's just going to be like, oh fuck, here we go. Here we go again. Do you think that's also going to be coming in the next Star Rail update? But we're getting a bit off topic. And when it comes to Wuthering Waves as well, the one thing I do really appreciate is the exploration. I hate the exploration in Genshin. It is so boring. Like, there is nothing fun to do. But they've made exploration in Wuthering Waves so much fun. Like, you can run up walls, you can use a grappling hook, you can automatically put waypoints down, you can go fight bosses, go fight enemies and still do stuff, which is so good. And I love interacting with worlds, because one of my favourite things in like story crafting is world design, and the Nier games have some of the best world design in gaming. And don't get me wrong, Wuthering Waves is not on par with the Nier games, no shot, but they're doing such a good job with the world and building upon which regions mean which areas are so important that it affects everybody around them. Like the Black Shores is a really good area. If you even take the characters aside of it, the way they've built up Black Shore is so good. I think it's really fucking fantastic. And I'm hoping they don't do what Genshin does, is like as soon as 2.0 hits, we never go back there. Because they've built it up so well, I hope they don't do that. And I don't think they will, but I just hope we go back there at some point. Another thing I want to get into now is gameplay. This has the best gameplay in Gacha right now, no hesitation. People can argue Xenoblade Zone Zero, but I've played both and I'm going to be honest. Xenoblade Zone Zero's gameplay gets boring after 5 minutes. As soon as you figure out the gameplay loop and the characters you play, and if you don't have certain characters that make the gameplay fun, that gameplay is just not it. It's a hit or miss with a lot of things at Xenoblade Zone Zero for me. Wuthering Waves though, each individual character has their own playstyle. Like for example, Rover. If you're playing either Earth Rover or Havoc Rover, she's still really fun to play. Don't get me wrong, Earth Rover is very slow compared to Havoc Rover, or I think. But Havoc Rover is so, as soon as you get her, like bro, she is so fucking fun. And then you got the 5-star characters that actually feel like 5-star characters. Camilla, her animations, her actual kit is fan-fucking-tastic. Chang-Li, her whole fucking thing with her outfit, the more stacks you build up, the more or her outfit changes and the more her moveset change. Fantastic. Yun-Li, bro, she is just, Yun-Li is fine as fuck, bro. But her kit is more around sub-DPS and they made the sub-DPS have some of the most crazy animations I've seen. Their animation team, man, they deserve a fucking raise. I'm gonna be honest, their animation team is so phenomenal. The music is phenomenal as well, and the sound effects with some of the animations. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of mechanics in Wuthering Waves, but each character has their own identity, and that's what I like. That's what I want out of these games, is care about specific characters. Because if you would ask me who my favourite character is in Wuthering Waves right now, it would have to be between Chun-Li and probably Camilla. Those two are just really good characters. Don't get me wrong, I still think Shorekeeper is better written than Chun-Li, but I love Chun-Li, man. Her character just, they are doing such a good job with the 5-star characters. They actually feel like 5 stars are actually their own thing. They feel like they're not just reskinned 4 stars with better animations. They actually feel worth to pull. And don't get me wrong, Star Rail does a good job at that with the crazy animations they do for some 5 stars. Genshin stopped doing that a long time ago. All the 5-star characters I've seen currently just low 4 stars. I don't know what's happened to their character design, but it's a fucking disgrace. Anyway, but Wuthering Waves right now is just so good. I haven't been able to put the game down like at all. Don't get me wrong, there was a period where I just didn't want to play the game because I wasn't playing any Gacha games at the time. But now that I'm starting to enjoy the game, understand the game more, I cannot wait for 2.0. But the last one of the last things I want to talk about Wuthering Waves is the story. I think the story so far is so good. It's because they're not just building upon the main plot, who's trying to find Rover's memories and find out who Rover actually is. They're also expanding on that and figuring out what Rover was before she lost her memories. Like, she was the leader of the Black Shores, she was Camilla's partner, she and Shorekeeper were partners. They're building upon her so well and still building upon important 5-star characters like Camilla and Shorekeeper and Chun-Li. They're doing such a fantastic job with it, and I can't complain about the story. Ever since 1.0, and obviously until you meet Scar, there's no stopping point of how well the story goes. It just goes up and up and up. I have no qualms with how the story's going so far, none at all. I'm just hoping they keep this momentum, because right now I have nothing bad to say about this game, because everything I would say that's bad is coming in the next patch. Like, they are helping with quality of life things, they're improving the game, and I can't basically list my issues now because they're fixing them. Because yeah, I that's what Gacha games should do though. Their communities, their voices should be heard, and the developers need to improve the games, but the Hoyoverse games don't do that. I've played Star Rail since release, and not being funny, most characters are power crept now. If you have any 1.0 characters like Stella, even Silverwolf now, they don't buff them old characters, so they're just dead. Like, you can use them, but what's the point? There's going to be new characters that are just going to be better. And don't get me wrong, yeah, that's kind of the point, but I wish you could do something with the old characters at least. One more thing I do want to get into though about Wuthering Waves is the new drip marketing they released. I think it was 2 days ago. Bro, I don't know what they were smoking, but they look fine as fuck. So one more thing I do want to go over for this game, now that I've spoken about the story, is the way they do farming for, well, echoes in this game. I think that it's such a unique way. You kill bosses, you kill regular enemies to actually use on your like artifact slots, or what they're called, echo slots or whatever. And that is just something I just wasn't really I was kind of shocked by, because I didn't think they were going to do something like that. And I think that it's kind of another identity that Wuthering Waves brings on its own, and it doesn't compare to Genshin or Star Rail. Because in Star Rail and Genshin and fucking ZZZ, you farm artifacts to increase your character's damage, output, health and shit like that. In this game it does the same, but you actually can transform into bosses that you fight for materials, which is cool. I really like that. That's all I basically want to talk about here, so make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and comment below if you enjoy Wuthering Waves or not, or if there's some issues that you want fixed, or if you want to see new things in Wuthering Waves, because personally I don't think how they just keep improving and improving, surpassing everyone's expectations. So I don't know what there is to complain about yet. But until 2.0, if there's something bad in 2.0, but right now there's nothing. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you later in a bit. Peace.